Welcome to Gaming with MJ and Blue.
Let's talk gaming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk all about gaming. That's what this podcast is about. Some of the things that we talk about are weekly news as far as Minecraft. That seems to be something we regularly talk about because it happens to be one of our favorite games. We also talk about the continued production of Hytale. It's something that we're really interested to see where it's going, and there's always a lot of progress right now with it. Although the game seems to have slowed down a bit, we know that there's still a lot of news coming out and different things they're updating. So that's exciting for us as well. But we also generally talk about anything gaming related. So if it's a topic on gaming, whether that's PC, console, even board games, well, we'll talk about it. Whether it's old, new, doesn't matter. It's a part of our conversation. So hopefully you'll find some of this entertaining and interesting. And let's get into it. So we actually have a special guest with us today, Mr. Simulation Man. Sim, thank you for joining us today and getting to know you a little bit on this conversation. One thing that we like to always open up with is kind of like a brief conversation of what we've been up to this week. Obviously, gaming related is good, but sometimes we just have busy weeks and we don't really get into gaming. So maybe you can start us off. What have you been up to in either gaming this week or just in life?
Well, yeah, gaming, not a whole lot this week. Or yeah, not much recently in general, but I kind of go through phases of how often I game. Really, it's sometimes I'll get really into something for a while and play for like a month or two, and then sometimes I won't play for another month or two. It varies greatly with me with gaming. Yeah.
I got
What's
you.
your go-to game?
Go to. I mean, I don't really have one currently, so I mean, back and always go back to is like Minecraft and maybe yeah. I mean, that's always
Seems like that's a lot of
that.
people's story. Like,
Yeah,
oh, well, Minecraft.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a general on and
It's
off.
somewhere in there.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know. It varies, and I'm not really a consistent gamer, I guess. But been one my whole life, but recent years not very consistently.
If you look across your gaming library, is there any particular genre that you seem to favor?
Hmm.
Strategy, simulation. I mean, you're called the Simulation Man, so
I am. Funny. I mean, I have always been rather diverse in my gaming tastes. I've never like had I mean, I've had a few maybe I favored over, but in general, I've always been pretty. I like to try all different types of games, really, for the most part. I mean, certain ones I never got into, but I mean, throughout the years, I've been into. Well, early on, I would say racing, but I've never been like into the simulation, like the simulator racing games as much. Some of them a little bit, but more of an arcade racer, like Need for Speed, things like that. So
Never
that's one.
gravitated towards Gran Turismo or anything like that.
Not quite. No, the closest I got would be like Forza Horizon, but even
Okay,
that's a little more arcadey
just a little bit, yeah.
than like motorsport. But I mean, racing. That's one. That's just one. I mean, I've liked action, adventure, puzzlers. You know, all sorts.
Platformers. I feel like we've always had
Oh,
conversation about
of course,
platformers.
of course. Ever since childhood, raised on platformers.
Mario.
That's one of them. Although I didn't get into Mario until a little bit later. I mean, if we're getting into this segment, I don't know. Yeah, we pretty much grew up on PlayStation, so a large part of that was like games like early PlayStation 1 would be like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and then PS2 would be like Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, things classics,
Classics.
But so yeah, I didn't get into Mario. I actually never had a Nintendo console until the Wii, really. So
yeah, and we'll get more into some of that a little bit later.
yeah,
we'll ask you more history stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you say the last game you played was?
I did get into Hollow Knight, so I was playing some of that. So
I still got to beat that.
I do need. Yeah, I need to get. I got into it for a little while, and then I kind of have taken a break, and I just haven't gotten back into it. But that's one game I do really like it though, so I do need to get back into that. So yeah, Hollow Knight. I guess I didn't think about that till now. So that would be my most recent gaming venture, I suppose.
Nice. MJ, what about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, you mentioned Fabled Root last time, and so
Oh,
I'm like, oh, that sounds. Oh, I played that before. It kind of put me back into a little bit of a memory. Like, I kind of liked that. I also noticed that it worked on the latest version of Minecraft, and so I was like, well, I hate going backwards versions.
yeah.
So since it actually played on the latest version, I was like, man, I got to try that. So I did it. I picked Frostborn, and I picked a
Oh,
Scout.
okay.
So I was just kind of playing that, just as a playing with it. And I like it. I think it's kind of neat. It's kind of got a neat its own take on Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Augmenting the playing of Minecraft makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing with Minecraft is it's kind of nobody plays it without mods anymore. At least I don't know anybody. So it's like find the most interesting mods and then you'll play,
Yeah.
and it makes
So
it makes it more interesting.
So Sim, just for a little bit of background, last episode we were talking about a mod that we were playing around with, and basically what it did is it gave you when you first started in the world, you gave you the option to pick between what was it, 10 races, right?
There's a lot of them,
MJ,
yeah.
something
Hmm.
like 10 different races that have different abilities, and
Mhm.
then 10 classes. So like you could be an archer, you could be
I picked Scout.
a scout. I'm trying to think of. There's a bunch
It
of
gives
them.
you buffs, like a
Yep.
Scout.
Mm.
I can see enemies. I can see the outline of enemies,
Mm-hmm.
like almost a little cheat.
Yep.
Right.
If they're close by. If they're not
Mm.
close by, I can't see them. But if
Hmm.
I can maybe hear them for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're really close, it lights them up for me.
Oh, nice.
So it kind of gives me that. That's kind of nice.
A really
Huh.
funny one, just a side note, in this pack is one of the races is a hermit, and he gets buffs if there's no other players around. If there's other players around, then he loses those buffs. I thought it was hilarious. He
Interesting.
only does good when he's by himself. He gets like strength buffs and all this other stuff.
Man, I should have picked that one.
What
Other
else you
thing,
got?
I did play a little bit of 2D6 Void. I've been testing that. So the author came out with a new level, so I'm kind of trying to get to that level, and I have to get through the current level, which is 2. So far my character survived, so I got to get it to 3.
Mm.
So I'm almost there. I'm almost to 3. So hopefully I'll get to be able to test that.
And now this is that space
It's a Kickstarter.
RPG,
It's
right?
a Kickstarter, so it's kind of like it's a print and play. You print
Mhm.
out the book, so it's a book, a real physical book, or a PDF. And you can play it from there. And you have to use like graph paper and all that. You kind of make your own little room, and you're kind of exploring. You're exploring this spaceship is what you're doing.
Mhm.
And so you roll some dice, and you can create the rooms, and then you have to kind of explore the rooms. And then depending on what happens, you have to go to this table, look this up, throw the dice, see what happens on that table. So it's been interesting. It creates this game narrative. At the end of it, you have this story of your character did this, then they did this, then they encountered this, and then you chose this and you did this, and so you've got this entire I survived somehow, and here's how I survived. So it's definitely it's not like it's a novel, but
Mhm.
it's kind of an interesting exploration type of game, and I like
Mm.
that. But it's
Nice.
physical. You use dice and paper and stuff.
Mm.
Cool. Very nice. All
Other than
right.
that, I've been working my butt off, right?
Yeah. Any 3D printing projects you're working on right now, MJ?
I tried a couple. I did do. You showed me something. What was it? A deck, like a card holder, like you were putting decks of cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was before you showed me your little Uno one, which is kind of cool too.
Mm.
But I started. I found another deck of card thing, and I have one more deck of cards that I don't have a case for. So I was like, well, let me find a new one. So I found one, and I augmented it a little bit. I drilled some holes in it and put
Mm-hmm.
magnets in it so that the top stays on, like it
Nice.
sticks to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having a little trouble getting it to slide now that it's got those pieces of magnet in it because it's not quite lined up. So I got to get out the file and kind of play with it a little. But I like it though. It's a nice case.
Nice. Very cool.
And I printed some paper clips. I wanted some paper clips to like put in my notebook. To keep
Yep.
pages. It's not like they're real paper clips. They're the size of paper clips. They're actually larger, but they're
Uh,
they're plasticky, of course. But
Mhm.
they slide over the paper so I can keep my space, keep my spot.
Nice. I tell you, there's a lot of things you can do with a 3D printer. I'm just starting into the world, and it's pretty impressive.
Sometimes I look around and I'm like, hey, I printed that. I didn't remember it. I've been using it forever, and I just didn't even remember it.
So as far as me, gaming specific, I only played one game just briefly, and it was today, but I'll get to that in a minute. Mostly what I have been working on is learning about 3D printing, trying to get this going. This has been a fun hobby. So it is still actually gaming related, but I printed a phase 10 card carrying box. So it's one of my wife's favorite card games. So I kind of took a design and then I altered it a little bit. I added an actual front, the logo on the top, um, and it was fun just messing around with it and learning it. And another print I just finished up today is my new Uno box case, which actually is pretty cool. It actually slide. Whoops, and I dropped cards. And I broke it. it but it slides right out. It's got a little thing here, and yeah, it. I dropped cards, but I'll pick it up later. Anyway, that's what I've been working on. Show and tell just kind of went interesting. And so that's kind of been kind of my main focus this week is I've just been trying to learn how the programs work, the slicer works for making these 3D printing projects. But today I did do a demo of a game that I just wanted to play around with. It's not really my style of game, so I'm probably not going to buy it. But we're going to talk about it a little later in the episode. But it's called Pragmata,
Oh,
and yeah, it's a new game from Capcom. They just
mm,
came out with the overall premise is like right up my alley, but the game style is not really the kind of game style I care for. So like I said, I'm not sure if I would actually play it myself. I might watch a playthrough just to because the story looks very engaging. But we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But the demo
mm.
was, I mean, it was interesting. I'm glad I have a somewhat beefy computer because man, those graphics are pretty nice. And
Yeah,
it
some
was
higher
what's that?
end higher end Capcom graphics.
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen that game kind of all over the internet right now. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's it. I
Oh,
mean, the
pricey.
story looks cool. Yeah, oh yeah,
mm,
yeah, definitely.
$60. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
that's
think
one of
it's
your.
70 on console.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah,
not
I
Touch?
think anyway.
surprising.
I think it's 70 on console.
Ugh,
But most games are these days. So,
wow.
So yeah, that's basically been what I've been up to this week. So nothing too crazy. Me and Vunder are gonna try to play some more games probably somewhat soon, but we're not sure what we'll play. Usually we gravitate towards Minecraft, but
mm,
who knows? Anything's possible. All right. So now that we've kind of covered what we've been up to this week, now we actually have a guest, and we're going to get into our actual guest segment. So, Sim, we're going to get into this a little bit more with you, and we kind
mm,
of want to talk a little bit about what your history in gaming was. So, what that means is give us an idea of what got you kind of started in gaming. What did you first play with? Anything like that? What can you remember as far as your history with gaming?
right. Well, as you know, and for the listeners out there, Blue and I are brothers, so kind of have a history there. So, yeah, I pretty much my gaming life, being the younger brother, it's just pretty much playing what you and our other brother had. So, which pretty much started with like PlayStation One, but mostly PlayStation Two onward is what I remember the most. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, PS2, PS3, and then eventually, you end up getting the Wii,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of that was kind of the main one for a while. And then I got back into PS3, and then PS4, and then Xbox One, then PS5, and then I did get into PC a little bit, but primarily a console gamer my whole
Mm-hmm.
life. So
You definitely went through the gambit of all the systems. A
mostly, yeah. I mean, I avoided Xbox for the longest time.
little prejudice there.
The only reason a little, back then there was a console war and everything,
Right, right, right.
which I was only, I mean, was it like deeply into that. But you know, it's just kind of fun to make fun of the Xbox players.
Still
Right,
your
right, right.
PlayStation's still your favorite though, right? Like your
In terms of consoles, I mean, yeah, that's I don't really play an Xbox anymore, but yeah,
but not PC.
I do. I mean, I do a little bit with PC, but so it's PC and PlayStation pretty much are my two. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's kind of in terms of consoles. That's mostly. I mean, you know, a few random like handheld PSP and you know. Oh, and then eventually, of course, the Switch as well. So I went from the Wii, skipped the Wii U because most people seem to as well,
Most
and
people
then
did, yeah.
and then got the Switch when that came out. And haven't
Yeah,
gotten into
I
the
played
Switch 2 yet though.
I
Yeah.
played on the Wii. The Wii was my first console, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I feel like the Wii was a lot of people's first and only console.
yeah,
It seemed almost. I mean, in some ways gimmicky, but other ways, I just feel like a lot of families, even people that weren't really gamers, got the Wii.
Mm.
yeah.
It was a pretty family friendly
It's
console.
active, you know. You getting
Yeah,
up off the couch and
yeah,
dancing or whatever,
yeah. You know, it was both gaming
bowling.
and exercise in
Hmm.
some ways. So, no, the Wii was great. It was fun. But yeah,
Cool.
Did you have all the stuff that goes with it? Like we had the board that you stand
yeah,
on,
yeah. We had that.
and all the
Um,
not the wheel. Well, you kind of had the wheel, right?
the wheel for Mario Kart. Yeah.
All the extra pieces,
Uh,
and
oh yeah, had a bunch of
can't think of what else
random
there is.
things.
Oh, we did exercises too, so we had all the like
Uh,
things you strap on,
Hmm.
right. The thing, yeah,
like it detects that you did a full squat and whatever else.
yeah. I remember. Do you remember? Let's see. Yeah, do you remember the? Well, it was a Tony Hawk game that they made for the. I think was it for the Wii, or maybe that was on the PS3. But it came with like this board, an actual
Hmm.
board that looked like
Snowboard.
it
It was a
looked like a
snowboarding game.
snowboard.
It was
Was
Shaun
it
White.
snowboarding? Oh, was it?
I think
Okay.
it
For
was a
some reason, I
Shaun
thought
White
it was a
snowboarding game.
Tony
Yeah.
Hawk game, but well, either way. Yeah, remember when it got that?
Yep.
I
All
I
right.
don't know how accurate or how well it worked, but I remember that game vaguely.
Wow, I completely forgot about that until
Yeah,
you
it just
brought it
reminded
up.
me. The Wii talk reminded me about that.
Yeah, that was. I think the Wii was such an interesting system because like you were saying, Sim. Everybody seemed to be getting it. Like it wasn't just gamers, but everybody seemed to be
Yeah,
interested in it. And I
it was
think
a massive thing.
like MJ was saying, I think it was partially to do with that active thing. You know, you can
Yep.
be home and still do things in an active way.
Yeah.
And I think what's cool is the Switch still has those capabilities, even though it's
Mhm.
not really
It's not quite as
advertised as much.
focused on it, but it's still there somewhat.
Yeah. All right. So history and gaming. What about a game? Like, let's say your earliest memory. What's the first game that pops in your mind?
Just basing it off of the consoles, the earliest thing I could think of would be like Crash Bandicoot. Would kind of
Okay.
be like
Yeah.
that would be kind of my Mario in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Crash and Spyro, pretty much those two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, beyond that, like I said, Ratchet and Clank was a big one growing up, especially the PS2 era.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another big one was Need for Speed. Played a lot of
Oh
Need for
yeah.
Speed, various Need for Speed games. So
Oh, I remember we
definitely put
played
a lot
those
of
like
hours in.
crazy.
Oh yeah, put a lot of hours in Need for Speed. Another fun racing was Burnout. Remember the Burnout games?
Oh yeah, Burnout. Yeah.
Yeah, those were
What
fun.
those were the ones where like didn't they wasn't that like one of the first games where like you saw the visual damage of the cars like
I
getting
think they
clean?
kind of started being a little more detailed in those. It was pretty fun. Oh, which reminds me actually of the PS3, one of the early game. I forget if it was a launch title or if it was shortly after, but MotorStorm. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was a
That
big one.
that was
Yeah.
the game that really showed what the PS3 was capable of graphics
Mhm.
wise in
Mhm.
at that time with the amount of damage you saw in the
Mhm.
vehicles and the detail. That was great.
I'm
That and
pretty sure
those are fun.
that was the first system that felt like it was sort of catching up to PC in its capabilities.
Yeah, for the
Um,
time at least.
at that time period, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I don't. Unfortunately, if the best PC gaming rig will still outmaneuver
Well,
any
I
console,
mean
but
that's inevitable.
yeah, can't get away from that.
But
But
you know, that
it,
just comes
PS3
comes with
was
the
very
territory.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. yeah, especially jumping from PS2 to PS3, I felt like a fairly big jump, and
Mhm.
then pretty much anything after that, it's like yeah, a little bit of jump, but nothing
Nothing
groundbreaking.
significant. Yeah.
Like PS4 was better, like graphically better and stuff, but still it took a little time to really see major differences.
Hmm.
But
As a
Yeah.
family, did you guys play board games at all?
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
plenty.
We
So
were big into board games, card games. You
was
know what's
that
funny?
before, like before the console, or was it during the same time? Or
Probably both. Just
Yeah.
okay,
whenever he felt like playing either or.
Yeah.
But we also, my childhood, we're also outside all the time. You know,
yeah.
so I wasn't like a massive gamer as a kid. I played sometimes when my brothers let me, and then
He was
uh,
the youngest, so we were a little bit
yeah.
mean to him.
But we were outside all the time anyway. We lived out in the country, so it was it was fine. But my teen years really is when I really delved into gaming, and that was my primary hobby. So, but
Hmm.
that primarily was like PS3, then the Xbox One and PS4, and then eventually the PC, the Switch, so on,
Hmm.
so on and so forth. But
Do you
in
have
terms of yeah,
a Do you have a
mhm.
favorite game of all time?
See that's a tough
That's a.
question. Like
I know. I know.
always a tough question. Name like 50, but number one. I mean, as
How,
you know,
top.
Kingdom Hearts is pretty high up there of that franchise, and it's funny because it's not a perfect franchise. It's a flawed franchise in many ways, but it's one of those things you either get it or you don't, or you love it
Hmm.
or you don't. And I'm one of them that loves it. So it's
Hmm. With
been a
flaws and all.
long time. Yeah, been a long time since I played any of them though, but
Yeah.
oh, you know, those were great.
Hmm.
Another one I did play a ton. Like probably one of the games I put most hours into in my early years was Mario Kart Wii. Just
Hmm.
played it all the time. Was kind
Hmm.
of obsessed. Got really good at the Wii version of that game.
Yeah, that was the primary game. Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
I mean that and like the Lego stuff, the Lego things I did
The
for a
Lego
while.
games.
I
Yeah.
do like I have liked plenty of the Legos games. My favorite probably would be like Lego Batman, and Lego Star Wars, of course, classics. Um,
Hmm.
and PC. While I didn't get into PC like really until around I don't know around 20, I forget
Hmm.
exactly, but around that age, I I did have some PC experiences in my childhood or later. Early on, I actually played Zoo Tycoon 2 a lot at one point. That
Love that game.
game, I was obsessed with that one for a long time. So
And
that
all the
was
expansions they had for it.
hmm
And, mhm.
uh-huh. Love that. I love a good park builder. And as a kid, I loved animals, so it was just kind of a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
one I remember a lot. I forget if I played on PC or if you had it on a PlayStation or not. But Jurassic Park Operation Genesis.
PC.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because I feel like they did release it on PS2, but it was probably a lesser version. I don't know. But anyway, that game also played a ton of. But I'm a big Jurassic Park fan and another park builder, so
Yep.
a lot of fun with those. Um, so that was pretty much my main experience with PC gaming back then.
Yeah.
Uh, some random like go on some random sites like addictive games. I think there was a site called addictivegames.com. I played as a kid. I had just a lot of random mini games. It was just fun. Oh, you remember Toontown, Zach?
Oh, Toontown. That was a ridiculously fun game. I think you
Toontown,
can
yeah.
still, believe it or not, I think you can still technically play, but it's got like no online players anymore.
Well, yeah, it's probably dead, but
Pretty
that
much,
was
yeah.
a fun game back in the day. If you were any sort of like Disney, the kind of the Mickey type world,
Hmm.
fan. Toontown was very like that
Similar.
style. Yeah, a lot of fun because you could create your own character. You could get your own place and little
Hmm.
animal thing that follows you around.
See, it's fun
Those
having a sibling
little
on here
games.
and talking about it because he's bringing stuff back to me that I completely forgot about.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I wrote a few of these down just to remember because I was trying to think earlier. I was like, what have I throughout? Like, oh yeah, remember that one? That one? Oh yeah. I was going down memory lane, looking back at my
Hmm.
history. and that's just scratching the surface. I played so many games throughout my life.
Hmm. So
But
here's just to kind of end getting into some
mhm,
other things, but uh, before we get into the next segment, obviously one of me and MJ's favorite games is Minecraft, and you got into
mhm,
Minecraft a bit too for a while there.
yeah,
And I know you still enjoy it once in a while, but
yeah.
do you what kind of made you enjoy that game?
I think like most, I think I was well, yeah, I was probably a teenager when I got into it. I think like most people, it's just it's a very creative game. You
Hmm.
know, if you're a creative person at all, you know, it's a very easy outlet.
Hmm.
Uh, it's very fun. I mean, you know, when you first start, a lot of people start in creative and just kind of mess around. I did, but I actually never quite liked creative that much. I always got bored pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
so you know, got into survival. It's like survival's a lot more fun. There's a lot more to it, a little more challenge. I mean, not that it's that hard of a game, but you know, you still have to watch your food, try not to die, yada yada yada, avoid
Hmm.
mobs, and
Hmm.
also try to be creative and build whatever you can think of. So if you have an imagination, Minecraft is just a very good game for that. So that's kind of how it starts.
The first experience with Minecraft is always like, how do I do that?
Yep.
Hmm.
How do I do that? Now, how do I
Yep.
do that? And
Hmm.
then once you figure it out, you'll never forget it, but
Yeah.
you just don't know to start with. And so you're like,
Nope.
how do I make that? Do I make it?
Mhm.
Can I make it? I don't know. So
Hmm.
sometimes you're on the web, like, how do I make that? What do I do
Yeah.
next? What's redstone?
Yeah. Redstone's still one that's not an easy thing to remember, but
Hmm.
I still don't really understand Redstone. But there are little bits about it I've gotten down, but not a lot.
Pretty
more,
sure I have
more of a
never.
builder than a Redstoner.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no game I've looked up tutorials more for than
Oh yeah. I've
more
done
than
plenty of
Minecraft.
Redstone tutorials. Looked up. It's like, all
Cool.
right, I see how it's done. I just don't really understand it. But all right. I mean,
Just
some of it,
copy the build, just copy it. Whatever the
pretty
guy on the
much.
web did, I'll just
Yep.
do it.
It functions.
Yeah. As long as it works, it's all that matters. But then when it doesn't work, you're like, crap, what did I miss?
Yeah. And it's always something stupid.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
a one misplaced block or something. It's like messes the whole thing up.
Or turned the wrong
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
All
All right, you want
right.
to get in the news? Well,
Yeah, let's do it. MJ, actually, do you mind covering the Minecraft snapshot? Just not a ton of changes, but there's a few things there. If you're okay
sure,
with
I'll
that.
get started. They have, they're messing more with the sulfur
Hmm.
biomes, right? Like this sulfur, cinnabar, all those things are kind of, I hope they're kind of wrapping it up because I'm like, I kind of like to get this out, in the world. So I'm probably not gonna play the snapshot. Just honestly, it's kind of like a little bit too much. I like the old one for now, and I keep playing that until because for other reasons. But anyway,
Hmm.
so I'm kind of like stuck in that for a while. So they've got the sulfur things that they've been messing with. The sulfur spike, that's that block that generates. This gets generated in the biomes. You can still do your own stalactites and stalagmite type.
Yeah, those are
Uh,
new though, right? Those are unique to
yeah,
the sulfur.
to the sulfur. Well, I mean, they've always had those in the dripstone variety,
Right.
but now they're sulfur-ish, I
Oh,
guess.
they've made new dripstone
Yeah.
types.
Yeah.
You
Well,
Oh,
have
see
you
that?
interesting.
seen this?
You see
I've
that
only
link,
seen it
Sim?
recently, so.
Sim, do you see
Uh,
that link I have in the Notion page?
oh yeah.
Click on that, and it'll bring you right to the snapshot. You can they have a picture of it.
So there's all the chiseled stuff now. They've been kind of completing all that stuff. And also the sulfur cube. I guess it was being picked up by boats and they don't want that functionality, so they stopped that.
Oh.
So now the sulfur cube can't fit in a boat.
What's a
So
sulfur cube?
Ah, see, he
Yeah,
hasn't been keeping up.
I
he
haven't
hasn't been keeping
kept
up.
up with it recently. Is that a new mob?
It
Yeah, it's a new
is, yeah.
mob.
Oh.
Yeah, it takes on the effects of whatever you feed it.
A block.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Does it
So
eat
if you
any block in the game?
pretty much it's
Mostly,
supposed
yeah.
to react to everything. Yeah.
Huh.
So like if you feed it ice, it makes it so it glides even more so than
Okay.
normal. Uh,
Interesting.
to
Does it
me,
have any drops? Does it
No,
drop anything?
I don't
No.
think it does. No,
I don't think
So
you
if
can
is
even
it
kill it.
You
really?
can you can kill the big one, but that's how you breed them. They split.
Okay, so
So
like a
that's how
slime.
you breed them. Yep, you cut them, you attack them, and they split into two, and
So,
then they're two little guys,
hmm,
and you have to wait for them to grow up, and then they'll grow up to be bigger cubes.
okay. So, is there any farming capabilities with these guys?
I think they okay, so my impression of this whole update is they've designed these things for mini game creators.
Ooh,
And that's really
okay.
where they're going to
So
shine.
I can see where that could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mob kind of acts like a puck, like a hockey
Yeah.
puck.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool,
Depending
actually.
on what kind of effect you give it, it could
Mhm.
Hmm.
slide or it could bounce better
Yeah.
because you handed it something bouncy.
All right. Gotta play
And of course
basketball.
Or it could get sticky.
I haven't
Hmm.
looked into it, but I believe once you feed it a cube, I don't think you can kill it.
No, but you
So
can
you can hit
get
it a
more
lot
feeding
and
it.
it'll be fine. What's that?
But so if you feed, so it's a little guy that grows into a big guy. You hit the big guy, it splits into two.
Yep.
When do you feed it? When it's still a little guy or a big guy, or does it
When it's
matter?
a big guy. Yeah, you
When
can't
it's a
feed it
big
when
guy,
it's
okay.
little. Yeah.
And when you feed it when it's a big guy, you can't hit it and it won't split
You
at
can
that
hit it,
point.
but it won't. Yeah,
It won't.
that's what I understood because that's what people were doing. They were hitting it, knocking it, moving it around, and it wasn't doing any damage. So
Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
assuming that's what it is, but we haven't. I mean, I haven't seen too much of it, so
Right.
yeah, that's the
Interesting.
impressions I've been getting.
I'll have to look up the video for it.
Yeah,
See
if
how it
you want
works.
a really brief initial description, that was what the Minecraft Live was about. It's like a 20 minute video, and it
Okay.
breaks down the stuff at that point. Since then, they've released a bunch of things like these new sulfur stalagmites and stalactites. That's new to this week. I didn't. That's the first time I'm seeing it.
Right.
But yeah. NJ, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else on this
They
snapshot?
changed a little bit of world generation. Apparently, there's now a lake, whereas before lakes sort of happened accidentally. I guess as a
Mm.
river they get cut off, so it makes a
Uh,
little lake. Now there's an actual official lake
okay.
generation. So that's good to see.
Yeah.
To be able to say there's a lake here instead,
Yeah.
and then make it more like a
Hmm.
lake rather than just
Right.
a cut off river. So there's a lot of sprite model updates and things of that nature. But I don't
Yeah.
think nothing stood out to me as unusual except maybe picking up the axolotl. I had never seen it, but it says you can like put a lead on it.
Hmm.
Well, anyway,
Didn't you pick them up with a bucket
A
before?
bucket.
can't
Yeah,
you?
you
Yeah, you pick
could.
them up with
Yeah.
a bucket,
A
right?
water bucket. Yeah.
But could you use a lead?
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember.
Yeah.
I haven't played
But
around with an
anyway,
axolotl in
seems
a
like they're
long
fixing
time.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
other than that, I didn't
Last
really
time
see
we
a whole lot.
played, actually, when I was playing for a while, I didn't even see an axolotl once during that
Hmm.
entire time I played.
Well,
Now
they
that I
only
think
they
about
only
it.
spawn in that one biome. The
Yeah. But even
what
in
is it
all my
called?
exploration, I never came across one.
Hmm.
Cave, the special cave, the
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Lush
crazy looking
cave
cave,
or
lush
something. Yeah.
cave. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
lush caves.
Yeah. And I went to some of those. I didn't see any. That's weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, they don't spawn in maybe but your largest ones. So if you
Mm,
got a really large lush cave, you'll see one or two.
right.
But otherwise, yeah, you may have small ones that you don't see any.
Yeah.
They do the
Yeah.
little splash thing now.
Hmm.
Everybody loves them. They're cute. I think that's about it as far
Cool.
as just did a bunch of fixes.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Looks like a big huge list of fixes in the snapshot, so which is pretty usual because that's the reason I stay away from snapshots is because of all the stuff that's broke.
Yep.
But they fix it eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we get to enjoy the play.
Yeah.
Okay, so briefly, we'll just look at Hightail here. MJ, I don't know about you, but I haven't really played any Hightail in a while. Other priorities,
I haven't touched the pre-release stuff, and I
right?
think that's what got updated. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
they,
notice I did try to do an update and it didn't update, so I was like,
yeah,
well, they haven't released anything new yet
yeah,
as far as release.
yeah.
But the
So
pre-release changed. Yeah.
yeah, so they're pre-release. They're on update 5, part 4, and so this is some of the things we're just going to read these quickly. There's a lot in it, and these are just the highlights from the news article. But it said the social sidebar will be live soon after this week's pre-release. So what that means is you will now be able to add your friends and see who's online and join their world directly from the main menu. And players can also invite friends to their own world and find Discord friends if their accounts are linked, and block other players. So they're getting a bunch of social functionality with this next update, which will be good. Speaking of Discord, the next one was enabling Discord integration. So you can now relink it's optional, but you can relink your Discord account from the Hightail accounts page. Then you can make sure that a second login method is set up first. So that will enable the Discord integration from the in game settings once your account is relinked. And then Discord friends will then appear alongside your Hightail friends. So you're getting a lot of just Discord connections there. And finally, audio occlusion has been implemented. So this is a kind of a cool feature. It uses raycasting between sound sources and the listeners. So what that means is that there's going to be a muffling of the audio depending on what material is dividing you and another person. So if you're in a cave, you have a little wall behind you, you might be able to hear them, but depending on what blocks are there, it's going to diffuse the sound. So the sim with Hightail, they full on have implemented in-game voice chat. So it's an actual game feature. So
That's
the
nice.
a lot of these integrations are indirect connection to those features.
Even
So
Minecraft doesn't have that still.
yeah, I hope.
Not very.
Well, I still have hope one day that it'll be an in-game feature. But you know
Well,
what?
mods,
Mods do it
Yeah, I
well.
know, but like the game's like 15, 16 years old now.
Yeah,
Still
I
don't have
understand.
that.
Mm-hmm. But
and
yeah,
in
so
my opinion, the only reason it's this old is mods.
mm,
It has helped definitely keep it alive, but
oh
the updates help. But yeah.
yeah. All right, so now, Sim, we're getting into a little segment we have called Tidbits of the Week. So it's basically news related items in the world of gaming that maybe have popped up this week or
Mhm.
within the last week or so, if we maybe missed something the previous week. So there's a few things that I noted. First off, uh, Sim, do you have it up by any chance?
Yep.
Our notes.
Yep.
Why don't you talk about that first one? I know that's a topic that you like.
Yes. The Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. Again, one of the franchises I've always enjoyed is the Lego games generally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously I haven't played all of them, but the Batman ones were always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is very interesting because it looks like they decided to go, hey, Batman Arkham Knight, let's just turn that into a Lego game.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it looks like, and I'm all for it. I'm definitely intrigued by the concept. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I hope they pull it off because I feel like some of the recent Lego games have been kind of stale. Not
Yeah.
stale is the right word, but they just didn't quite hit in the
Mm-hmm.
same way the older ones have.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this one kind of breaks that mold and actually delivers something interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's from what I've seen, it's got a lot of content in it, a big open world, a lot of costumes and
Mm-hmm.
Batmobiles and all that sorts of stuff. And I assume different playable characters than just Batman as well.
The big open world to me is what's gonna set this apart from most Lego games.
Oh yeah,
Because I don't think they've ever really done that. It's been very much a cookie cutter game where you have to
mostly
go.
they did make the Lego. I think it was Marvel Superheroes. It was called. They made like at least two of those games, and those were open world. And I
Oh,
did
okay.
play one of them, the first one I think, and it was they did that one was actually pretty fun. So they did a pretty decent job with that.
Mm,
And that was just like open world New York, I think. That's
okay. All right.
a lot of Marvel is set in New York. So, but Gotham, yeah, I hope this it looks good so far from what
Yeah.
I've seen. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and you know what? They just released that new trailer about the Batcave. They're showing
Yeah,
off like the Batmobiles, and I
hmm
it looks cool. You're going to be able to customize the cave however you want. Like to
that's
me,
pretty cool.
that's really neat. That's a
Yep.
different level for a Lego game than they usually have.
Yeah, customations. is great, especially Lego games. That's
Mm-hmm.
of course Lego. What more do you want from Lego than customization?
You know,
So,
I also thought was interesting is one of the costumes is from one of the latest comic book series they came out for Batman, like
oh,
Absolute Batman,
yeah, I've
I
seen
think, or something
things
like
about
that.
that.
The
Yeah,
Absolute series is the
yeah,
latest in the comic book series for DC. It's a very different
yep,
take on it.
yeah. I've seen things about it. I haven't
I
read
thought
any
it
of
was funny because in the trailer he highlighted it, but they didn't actually say what it was or where it was
it.
from. They just kind of
Just the
like, oh
costume.
yeah, then this one, yeah.
Mm,
Anyway, but yeah, it should be
yeah.
pretty cool game. I think. What did you think, MJ? Did you get a chance to see anything on that one?
No, I didn't look it up.
Mm,
Yeah, it's
But
a
I love Lego games because they're just
yeah.
yeah.
like so interactive and you can play with
Mm,
stuff and move things. So being able to make your own base, I mean
yeah.
that is unheard of.
Yeah, you
I mean,
should
you'd
look
always
into
come
that
back to
one.
that same place in a Lego game. You'd always come back and then you could pick a different path or whatever. You know, I always do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can actually change that now. Like you can
So
There's
you
your
get
own.
it's the Bat Cave, but you can just kind of like customize it how you want it. Like,
mhm.
so I didn't actually watch the latest
That is
trailer,
cool.
so I didn't quite see what you were talking
Yeah,
about. But
it's not like it's not like Minecraft in the sense that you can put blocks, but they have actual items. Then you can decorate the cave however you want. They
mm,
actually showed it off. If you watch the trailer, you're gonna find it interesting because you get to control an excavation machine. You actually have to excavate the Bat Cave and open up new areas in order to set it up and continue to improve the Bat Cave.
hmm,
So
Hmm.
it's very interesting. Like I said, you gotta check out the trailer.
you can excavate the cave, huh?
Yep. So opening it up even more.
Okay,
Yeah.
that reminds me. I went to Target and they had the Switch 2,
Hmm.
set up there where you can play the demos, whatever. So I was like, I never have tried the new Donkey Kong game, so I just kind of briefly
Hmm.
played a little bit of that, and like right off the bat, you can pretty much just because you're like start out in a mine, and you can pretty much just punch through the wall, the ground around you, and just like dig tunnels and whatnot. It's like, it's
Hmm.
kind of interesting. Yeah, that just reminded me of that. I did that recently, so it's like, kind of a fun little game. If I ever get the Switch 2, who knows? But
Could be a game.
waiting on that one right now. It's
Yeah. Understandable.
yeah,
Uh, all right. So I think we talked about Lego Batman a lot. Pragmata, that was just the reason it's in tidbits of the week is because it actually just came out on April 17th. I just brought it up because it looks beautiful and the story looks engaging and interesting.
neat.
As I mentioned, it's not really the kind of game style I'm really that interested in playing. I played the demo for a little bit, but I'm like, yeah, it's not
Mm,
really for me. But I am fascinated by how the story might be. So
yeah.
um,
What
that's
is
definitely
the
one.
what is the gameplay like? What genre specifically would you
It's
say this?
it's
Like a
technically a first person
shooter?
shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
a feeling because I've only seen like little bits and pieces of it online. I've
Hmm.
seen people talking about it and playing it, and
Yeah,
but I haven't really seen like any of the actual gameplay. I've only just seen like the guy and the little girl like
yeah.
interacting, and that's pretty much all I've seen.
The big robot and then there's a little girl. It gave me
Yeah,
Last of Us vibes, but
Mhm.
I'm not
kind of
sure.
futuristic Last of Us,
Yeah.
non-zombie Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's it's the guy's not a robot. He's actually a guy in a suit.
Oh,
Right.
So
really? Okay.
believe it or not, the little girl is an android.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's an android. Okay.
Yeah.
So Megan
Yeah,
vibes.
I knew that much. Yeah.
But yeah, you can
Cuter.
it's like first person shooter meets puzzle game like a lot of times these are. So
Yeah.
but anyway, it just looks interesting to me. Just
Yeah.
story wise.
So you play
So
the guy and the robot?
yeah. And you kind of control her a little bit too if you have to hack things. She's the
Mm,
hacker
Okay.
basically.
So you say,
But
hey, I can't open this door. Come hack it.
yep,
mm,
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
She kind of like
That,
rides on your back and then she's like
mm.
doing all the hacking.
That
Oh,
reminds me of
that makes more
Enslaved.
sense.
Remember Enslaved? Was that
Oh,
Odyssey?
Odyssey to the West. Oh yeah,
Because the girl just jumped on your back and you you kind of ran around and climbed everything and
oh yeah. That's
monkey.
right. I forgot about Monkey. Yeah. There's a game we should talk about sometime.
Yeah,
That was an
that was a
interesting one.
fun game.
Did
Kind of
not get enough
apocalyptic.
praise in my opinion, but
No, very underrated.
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Blue's favorite game,
You,
Pokemon.
so I will throw this out. I brought this up because this is such a huge franchise. Actually, I don't think we really have talked much since we started this podcast about Pokemon. MJ is right. It is one of my favorite gaming franchises. It has been since I was little. But they recently came out with Pokemon Champions, which is their standalone battler game. So whereas most of their games have always been adventure, running around, and then building up your team, this one is straight up, you're just doing battles with people online. Uh, Concept is good. Implementation, a lot of people are kind of like, so on it. One of the guys I was watching was saying it gave him very much gotcha games for phones. So you go in and if you're just doing the free version, you get a random encounter once a day. But you can pay more money, and then you can actually get more encounters during the day. So in that sense, it's like, yeah, that's very much a gotcha game, right? But what makes it kind of not is if you are a full-on Pokemon player, you've played the games, and you're invested in Pokemon Home, which is their transfer system. So you actually can take the Pokemon you've captured and transfer them to Home, and then from Home, you can transfer them to this game and use them in battles. So in that sense, it's not a bad thing. But if you're brand new to Pokemon and you're just getting into this specific game, which is freemium technically, you're not going to get the full effect, and it's just going to feel, it's very bland. They only have like a little over almost maybe 200 Pokemon in there, whereas there's over 1,000 now that are available. So it's very limited with what you can play with in that game right now. And eventually it's going to be available on phone too. But as of right now, it's only available on Switch and Switch 2. So that's another game that has been on the up and coming for a while, and it's finally released this past week, I think it was. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up because if you're into gaming and you're a Nintendo fan at all, there's a good chance you've played around with Pokemon at some point in your life. So someone out there that's probably like, oh yeah, I'm loving it, or yeah, I'm not a fan, but yeah.
Is it true that when he was young, he was foaming at the mouth for Pokemon? He says he's a fan.
Yep, he sure was.
He was like having dreams. He'd be on the couch asleep, like, oh, Pokemon, I'm a Pokemon master.
Gotta catch them all.
I gotta catch you.
Randomly throwing things like, what was that?
And then that's when you took the Sharpie and you wrote on his head and his face while he's asleep.
Oh yeah.
Brother stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know.
Finally, just thought we'd talk briefly about a movie. This is a little off track from gaming, but with Sim on here, I kind of wanted to talk about it. The new trailer for the Godzilla Minus Zero movie just came out. So if anybody remembers, Minus One came out a few years ago, and this is a full-on Japanese film. And I remember Sim was telling me, yeah, you got to see this. Like, this is what Godzilla is supposed to be. It's not the Americanized version of it that we see today so much.
The
but
American
this was
popcorn flick.
and sure enough, I watched Minus One, and it was excellent. I mean, it obviously visually and everything, it wasn't like quite up to what Hollywood seems to be pushing these days, but it was so close. Like it was awesome.
But they had a much smaller budget than what Hollywood pumps into their movies, and it was still way better.
Not a Marvel budget.
I know.
Oh, geez.
Loaded mess of the movies. Yeah.
And then to pay for it, they put in product placements.
Yeah.
So much.
Godzilla picks up a
cocaine
Coors truck and throws it.
That's right. That's a Transformers
Coors pay for
that. I mean, well, that's literally happened in Transformers movies. So,
what are Marvel movies? And I'm just like disgusted.
No, they're all.
It was a Victoria's Secret bus or something. Somebody crashed into or picked up, and I was like, no. I almost walked out of the movie theater.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. So, but Sim, what are your thoughts though on this new one? Like,
Oh,
you excited
I'm
about it?
definitely. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know much about it. I saw the brief little trailer they had, just a kind of
Mm-hmm.
sneak peek. They didn't show much, which is good. I don't want them to show much. I don't need to see much because I love the last one. I expect that this one will hopefully be just as good. Um, and yeah, I'd watch it regardless. I don't need to see much more. But
Cool.
it looks good. The little bit I saw, they got I mean, the last one was very successful. So they got a little bit of a bigger budget. Still, I
Mm-hmm.
assume not massive, but bigger than the last one. So they'll probably look a little bit nicer, a little bit
Yeah.
smoother. And yeah, I I think I think I read that the two main characters from the last one are returning for this one as well, the
Oh,
human
nice.
characters. So,
The
which
guy and the girl.
they kind of left their stories open, for
Mm-hmm.
continuation anyway. And if you saw the last one, the ending kind of had some interesting effects
Hmm.
with their story. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that. And they're going to New York City in this one.
Oh,
So
good. Godzilla needs to destroy New York.
we'll see how the Japanese take on the destruction of New York City. It'll be interesting to see how they do it.
Cool. Yeah, it should be. I'm very interested, very curious. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
looks
gonna go to see New York destroyed because everybody loves that.
yeah, that's always fun.
All right. So let's get into the tools of the week. So this is a segment where we talk about maybe websites, programs, maybe Minecraft mods, whatever that maybe we found useful and maybe wanted to share with you guys. So it could be gaming related. It might just be kind of random, which happens to us a few times. But MJ, why don't you share yours with us?
Okay, mine is something I used back when I was on Windows, which was many decades ago, but I still used it a lot, and I was always looking for ways to get around Microsoft's way of doing things. And
Mm.
one of those was a long time ago. I used to use a site called Ninite. And I don't know if you have ever used that,
Night.
but
Mm-mm.
Ninite, I think it is, where what it would do is it would package a bunch of free software together for you, and then you could click on whatever you wanted, and then it would hand you one download file. And then when it would run that download file, it would just install everything with defaults. So it didn't come up and ask you, like, where would you like to install it? Click next. None of that. It would just grab everything you picked and just install it. And then
Mm.
you could also use the same program. You could keep it, like put it on your desktop, and you could go back to it later and hit it again, and it will go update all that software that it kept.
Mm.
So it was almost like a distribution system for applications. So all the applications you like, right? Like
Mhm.
everything that you like, that you can keep up with it. Like say you've got a nice editor that you like Notepad plus plus or whatever that you like, because you just that's the way I like it. I always rip off or I never use Notepad. I use Notepad plus plus. So whatever you use, plus antivirus, maybe you have your own media player that you like. A lot of people like VLC. VLC
Mhm.
is a nice media player. Some people just love the media center that comes with Windows. So, to each his own. But you could go to this website, you could pick off what you wanted, click download, and it would hand you that download and it would have it all in it. And you would just click it and it would just install it all. Well, I don't know if that's still there, but they're it kind of has some things that are not good about it. But anyway, they came up with this new one called Chocolatey. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever tried it, but it's more of a tool. It's not a website. Although there's a website you go to download it, which is chocolatey.org.
Mhm.
But you go there and you download Chocolatey, the tool, and it becomes a way of going and getting software. So if you wanted a particular command, that you needed, or a particular tool that people use, that you could get it through Chocolatey. And then Chocolatey would just keep everything up to date for you, so that you'd always be running the latest version. You can always go to Chocolatey and look for more things. It's just often it's very small tools or small things that you could get a lot of use out of. Little tools that you just love. It'd be one of those things where if you ever had to lose like say you lost your system and if you install from, I don't know if you have a backup of your Windows computer, but if you ever lost your system completely and you had to restore your system. Well, in this case, you just run Chocolatey, and it would go get all your stuff for you again. So Chocolatey is a nice tool for that. Although Night, I don't know if Night. I should have checked before I got on, but because Night is its own thing, and yeah, it's still there. But you can basically pick all these apps you want, and click download, and it downloads for you. The problem is that there might be things out there that are not officially apps. For example, there might be tools that you use that are like command line tools that you just don't have on a Windows computer that are more, come from other types of operating systems or whatever. Well, like even just the sort program in Linux is just so useful. Well, if you want the sort program from Linux, get Chocolatey, tell it find the sort program, and you're all good to go. So it's just those kind of things. A lot of people use tools that are Linuxy, like grep. Grep is a great way of searching through text files, just giving you the results of every line that contains that word, or something similar to that word, or something, uppercase, lowercase, whatever. So those tools are all on Chocolatey. Night doesn't have that because those are just tiny little programs that really don't deserve their own website and all that. And so you can, maybe you use a combination of both, but you could just do everything with Chocolatey and be fine. So you could go to Chocolatey and you could say, here's my favorite antivirus, here's my favorite media, go get those for me, and it'll just go get it for you. So it's kind of a nice tool.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
There's similar things for Mac. It's called Brew. It's like homebrew. Linux has different software distribution type platforms. These are all like non-default. They're not from Windows, obviously, not approved by Microsoft kind of things. Which, I mean, who cares, right?
Right.
I mean, just go to the Microsoft store. Everything's there that you'll ever need in your whole life. No, not even close, right?
It's got to be vetted by them.
Yeah. Chocolate to me just fills in those needs.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you found some more programs, because originally you're talking about a program that was a long time ago, and now they have more that's good for today. So that's good. All right. And mine, I won't get into it super deep, but I dreamborn.inc. So I found this website when I was getting into the Disney trading card game Lorcana. So really, it's a very fun trading card game. If you've never played it before and you like trading card games and you're a fan of Disney, it's actually really enjoyable. So this website makes it easy for you to build your decks, get an idea of what you have, what you want to play. You can import them, keep just kind of keeping track of the value of your decks and your cards, because trading card games, the value is kind of always going up and down, and trying to get an idea of what you're looking for. You want to build a deck, okay? You're looking up the cards that you want, and then boom, you can do this very easily with this website. So if you are interested at all in that kind of game, look up this website, and it'll help you build decks, which is always a challenge when you're trying to get into a trading card game. So very fun, very useful. I like it. Okay, so we are going to get into our final topic, and we're going to talk a little bit more with Sim on something very specific. So we're trying to pick and choose certain people that maybe have a little bit more of a connection with a certain uh, specific type of gaming, if you will. In this case, we wanted to pull Sim on here because Sim has a lot of history with PlayStation. So I do as well. Sim's got a little bit more recent history. I don't have a whole lot of recent history. I've kind of been out of the PlayStation game for a little bit. But Sim, you have like the PS5, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you do have the latest system and all that. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about that system specifically. You've always kind of given me the impression that it's probably your favorite gaming system. Would you say that's accurate?
The PS5 or PlayStation in general?
Just PlayStation in general.
I mean, yeah, it's the one I play the most on, so it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of my system.
Yeah. Okay. No, and that's good. that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. What to you? What makes PlayStation a good choice as far as a gaming system?
Well, these days, I don't know if I'd really say anything is necessarily a good choice. They all have their own flaws.
Yeah.
And by they, I primarily mean the companies that run them.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, it's still a better choice than Xbox. Like they're pretty much just given up. I don't even know what
There's
they're
some
looking
positives
for.
on the horizon. There is,
Yeah,
but
I mean, they got things, but here's my personal opinion when it came to consoles. This is kind of excluding PC because again, I didn't really grow up with too much PC, just little bits here and there. But in terms of consoles, the reason that like because I mentioned briefly the console war, which was
Mhm.
mostly just the people who played on each console kind of arguing with each other. That's pretty much all it was. But at the same time, there was a reason that there was a war, and that was because both of the companies, were actually trying to outdo the other, which
Mhm.
meant they were trying harder, which meant they were making better games and trying to compete with each other to get our attention and get our money.
Mhm.
So a lot of people for the longest time were like the console war is stupid and it needs to die. It's like, well, I mean, stupid in some ways, yes, but at the same time, the concept of it, the reason it exists, is actually good for everybody because a console war indicates that there is two opposing sides, which means both of those opposing sides are trying to do their best to give us the best to get our loyalty, if you will.
Yeah.
So really, it's more of a benefit to the consumer, as they like to call us, when they themselves are competing with each other. These
Yeah.
days, I feel like they're not competing anymore. They've kind of, like I said, half the Microsoft feels like they've pretty much just stopped caring what about anything. It's like they don't even care if anybody buys an Xbox anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
PlayStation's still trying, and they're it's some good, some meh. Uh, they're definitely in terms of uh, not so much well, it's quality too, but quantity of exclusives. That's the main thing is the exclusivity of the games. That's
Mhm.
kind of the main draw to a console. At least it was. These days, there's not as much of that, with the exception
Mhm.
of Nintendo always being exclusive and Sony mostly keeping it exclusive. A few things they've kind of like put on PC and whatnot. Um, but pretty much that was kind of my thing growing up. PlayStation just always had the best exclusives that for me personally,
Mhm.
and so that's what kept me with them for the most part. And these days, they haven't had as much that I care about.
Yeah.
PS5, it's probably the console I've played the least on of all PlayStations. Um, there hasn't been too many game exclusives, or even just games in general, because the gaming, at least the AAA gaming front, has been pretty not very great in recent years.
Yeah.
but but yeah,
We've
even
said
with
it a lot. Indies
exclusives,
seem to be the way to
indies
go
have
these days.
really been dominating the last at least 5 years or so, if not
Yeah.
more. It's they've because they again they're indies, they're indie developers who are for the people essentially,
Yeah.
unlike these AAA $1 trillion companies that don't care about us.
Yeah.
So you know, so
They
yeah,
care
that's
about our
kind of
money.
yeah. You'd think that they would realize that means they need to actually care about us and what we want, but
Nope.
they're full of stupid people. So
Yeah, unfortunately.
It doesn't
so
sound
yeah.
like you're a fanboy.
Not anymore. I would say I used to be some more of a a fanboy, but these days I'm more of a neutral party. I like what I like, but I don't. I'm not necessarily loyal to any company anymore.
Yeah.
Welcome to getting older.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't
yeah.
know if that really answered the question, but that's kind of
No,
that was my thoughts on that.
no, like I said, it's one of those things where most of the time we have something that we gravitate to most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of your life, PlayStation has always been what you gravitated towards. But it's
Mm-hmm.
understandable with the way things are these days why it's not as strong as it used to be.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that's why honestly that's why I've gotten away from it too. I used to be a PlayStation fanboy as well. I just yeah, these days it's just like they have so little on there that I'm interested in, and what they do have is available on PC. So it's like that also tells you that their exclusives are not really what's interesting me anymore.
Not anymore.
That's
No,
yeah,
they used to be, but
yeah,
not so
How
much
how
anymore.
are they on price?
the same as everybody.
It's yeah, it's all kind of roughly the same across the board. Most,
60.
most new AAA games are these days they're mostly are like $70.
Oh, okay,
There
yeah,
are some exceptions that are like 50 or 60, but in terms, especially AAA, they're almost always 70. And then you got like stupid Nintendo trying to charge 80 for Mario Kart. Like really, eighty
right,
dollars for a Mario Kart game? Are you
Right.
kidding me?
yeah,
Like Mario Kart is good, sure. Don't get me wrong, but really,
hmm
80? That's
yeah,
just ridiculous. Uh,
That's
and
milking their IP.
and
mm.
I know a lot of these companies are really they're waiting to see what Rockstar charges for Grand Theft Auto 5 or
Oh, I
6.
know. That's
That
all
is
over
what
the
they
news.
are all waiting to see what if they're going to charge $100 for that game because that's what the assumption is. They're like,
And
oh,
that'll set the bar.
they're gonna charge 100, and now everybody else is gonna as soon as they do that. So
The
all of these companies are just itching for that game to come out so they can know what to charge for their their crap.
the problem with that is the economy, and not to get into anything kind of economical, but the way things are, people are struggling to afford things as it is.
Uh
It's
huh.
like even your groceries alone are going up and up and up.
Everything
Now
is.
you think that your games mean more than food to people because you're
Yeah.
gonna make them choose. Do I eat
Mhm.
this week or do I buy a
Yeah.
game?
That's the
It's
problem. Like gaming has become a luxury item these days. It's no longer something everybody can afford. It's
yeah,
ridiculous now. The consoles, the PCs, the games themselves. A lot of people just can't afford it anymore, or at least can't afford much. And
yeah,
all these companies are trying to fight for the little bit that we can afford, and they're not going to get it. The
no,
indie devs that actually make good stuff are going to get it, and those are
yeah,
usually cheaper.
yeah. They charge reasonable
So
prices.
just
They're
digging their own hole
not
for
staying true to
years
their
now.
roots, you know,
Oh
because
No.
no.
you go back before video games. You talk about board games, right?
Hmm.
Or the family got together and played board games. Monopoly. Think about Monopoly.
Hmm.
Monopoly came out of the Depression.
Hmm.
Mm,
They couldn't charge much for it,
Nope.
and they didn't. It was just kind of a set bar of like, here's what we're going to charge for it, because it was just cardboard, right? It was cardboard and like little pieces of metal and some
Yep.
dice. It's nothing to it. Like it's
Yeah.
just paper, printed money. So there wasn't much to it. So you couldn't really charge things for it, right? Charge a lot for it. And there was a set standard of people will never pay more than this level. And I think it was
mhm,
about $25, I think is what it was. $25. People will never pay more than $25 for a board game. And that was a ceiling.
Mm.
Like
mhm,
it'd be stupid for you to come out with any kind of board game and have it be more than $25. If it was $26, you will fail. And s-
hmm,
and it and it went like that for 50, 60, 70 years.
Yeah.
That stayed true. And
Yeah.
now you can't get a board game
No.
for what, less than 80? Or sometimes, well, maybe
Well,
maybe
it depends on
depends
the
on what
game
you're getting.
spot.
they've
Like,
broken through that ceiling for
oh yeah,
sure.
big time. Yeah, you go to a store, you look at the game section, the board game section. It's like uh, you get like maybe certain card games are like 10, 20, whatever, and then you get the board. It's like 30, 40, 50, 60. It's like, my goodness,
Yeah,
this is a board game.
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and
I
things will get real
did.
popular and they'll go real expensive. Like, oh,
Yeah.
cranium's expensive, like
Yeah.
it's the best thing ever. Cranium's the best thing ever. Let's all go get it. And it's like, what, $45? Come
Yeah.
on.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
Play-Doh. Come on.
I know. It's like I'd rather spend that on a video game, but even those I don't want to spend that much on anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Definitely is.
Just leaving your roots. You can't do it. People just can't afford it.
It's
Nope.
corporate greed. It's taken over everything.
I think back to me when I was a kid, I was very poor, so it wasn't,
Mm.
I couldn't afford that. I would have to go out and like, I would have to think of how many lawns do I have to mow
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
get that, right? And I had other things I had to get. I had to get my shoes. I wanted some Nikes.
Mm.
How many lawns do I have to mow to get my Nikes? That stuff
Mm.
like that. That was on my mind. And
Right.
Yeah.
so board, your games competed with my clothes
Needs.
or
Yeah.
my other types of things. I can't imagine what kids are doing right now. I'm guessing they're insulated from that to a degree. I don't know. I don't have any kids,
Right.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably depends on the kid, but yeah.
Yeah.
depends on economic status, I guess. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah. That has an
But yeah,
impact.
that's another thing. A lot of gamers. I mean, there's a lot. Obviously, these days, a lot of gamers are in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 20s. But there's all still a lot of kids that are gamers too, kids and teens, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them rely on their parents to buy their games. And
Yeah.
parents see these prices, they ain't gonna
Yeah.
be spending too much of it.
Yeah.
Not too often, at least.
Well, I think what was really telling was I think it was with Nintendo when they revealed their prices and everybody was claiming or complaining about it, and the CEO was like, "Just get a Switch One." He's like, "You can't afford a Switch Two." Like it was literally
Yeah.
a pushed it off as, "Look, you guys can't afford it. We're not selling this for you."
Yeah.
And that is the bad thing. They have not sold nearly as many Switch Twos as they wanted to.
No, I mean it's still sold a lot, but
It
definitely not
has.
as
It
much
has.
as I'm sure they were hoping.
No, they were hoping for a lot more than what they have sold,
Yeah.
but the problem is it's the same with the games.
Mm.
And from what I heard, there might be a mix up there soon. They might actually start charging less for their digital games,
Yeah,
which,
but they're also talking about raising the price on their console.
yeah. Oh, no, I know. It's
So
like,
it's like it balances out. Like, oh boy.
yeah. So it's really, nothing is ever designed to help the consumer.
No.
That's really what it turns into. It's like we need to manipulate the consumer as much as we can to get their money, and
They
that's
try.
really what
They've
it's
been
really,
trying for years, and
you know,
people aren't really having it as much these days. I've noticed. The,
people are
the
fed up,
people
I
aren't.
think.
Yeah, people aren't as fooled by their
Hmm.
practices these days, as often at least. It's they've become too obvious with their greed and lies and false promises and so on and so forth. The
Wow,
people have
this,
spoken, and they're against all of it.
yeah, boy, this conversation took an interesting turn. I will say that much.
Well, you asked an
And
interesting question, so
that's it. MJ, be glad you never got pulled into the console world. It's disappointing for a lot of the
it's a
fans out
mess these
there.
days. It used to be fun.
when I was
Gaming
a
used
kid,
to
I
be
couldn't afford
fun.
it. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
So
make
I
gaming
will.
fun again.
yeah,
That's a good thing. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we've gone well over an hour at this point. We're at like an hour and 10.
Yeah,
But Sim, thank you so much for joining us today. We've been trying to get you. I know things have been hectic and
yeah,
we
life.
haven't. Yeah, that's we all understand, but we're glad we were able to get you in today.
Yep,
Just kind of going over all this, but
glad you're feeling better.
yeah,
yep,
yeah, that too.
yeah, yeah.
So we'll just kind of do our final comments here, just normal cleanup at the end of our episodes. Please visit our website if you get a chance. We have a website at mjandbluegaming.card.co. So if you go to that website, you'll see everything we have there. We have all of our links to our socials, among other things. We have um, just a bunch of different stuff on there. So if you want to take a look, it's got a little bio of me and MJ too. Speaking of just some of these things, we have an email on there as well. So feel free to send us a message. Most likely, you'll probably be commenting on YouTube or something like that. Please do send us a message. Let us know your thoughts on PlayStation. Let us know what you think and how you feel, or any console really for that matter. Maybe a game that's coming up that you're interested. Yeah, throw it in the comments. Let us know what you think. If you disagree with something we say, go ahead and share that with us. We always enjoy seeing what people are thinking on these things. But yeah, so maybe share some thoughts on any topics that you might have as well, because that could also lead into something in the future. Maybe we'll mention you too, which is always fun, right? To be a part of the gaming community in general. So, just a little side note, if you are interested in supporting us at all to help us keep going with this, maybe upgrade some equipment, we have a Buy Me a Coffee account right now, which is on our website. If you go there, we do have a Patreon. We're getting some things figured out. We still aren't there yet. But we're, again, busy. So we haven't really been able to really iron anything out yet, but we'll get that figured out hopefully somewhat soon. But yeah, every little bit helps us out to keep going with this podcast. So thank you again for listening. I have been Blue.
I have been MJ.
And I'm Sim.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, Sim, for coming.
Yep. Thanks for having me.